In the course of my talking to one of my distinguished sisters that she should speak whenever she's recognized, I made reference to the fact that we are not in a nightclub where people have to shout above the noise of the music. I will not intentionally denigrate any woman. I have a wife, I have 4 daughters, and I always pray that God will lift a girl child to the highest zenith in Nigeria, politically and in business. I also want my children to do well. So, distinguished Senator Natasha, I want to apologize to you if you felt offended. I felt that I should tender a public apology to you over the miscommunication and the misunderstanding. So do accept my apologies, and my colleagues, or anybody who could have felt offended, accept my apologies. I did not mean any harm.
Amazing. Akpabio Bows To Pressure apologizes to Natasha over nightclub comments. This is awesome. Can you see the power and the influence of the social media? Can you see what the social media can do? You know, this thing happened at the floor of the National Assembly. That was last week when Natasha was trying to, lend her own voice on a bill that was being debated at the floor of the National Assembly. She was trying to call the attention of Akpabio, but Akpabio was not giving her that attention. Only for Akpabio to tell her that this is not a nightclub.
But it should be slight modifications, sir. It's a necessary bill.
Distinguished Senator Natasha, in the chamber, you have to be recognized before you speak.
Oh, pardon me.
Yeah, we are not in a nightclub.
And this never augured well with Natasha and Nigerian women. So they decided that they are going to protest. But Akpabio, being someone that is very intelligent, was quick enough to apologize.
Still learning. Even those of us that have been in the Senate for 16 years, we are still learning. So we'll do well to continue to learn. But in the course of my talking to one of my distinguished sisters that she should speak whenever she's recognized, I made reference to the fact that we are not in a nightclub where people have to shout above the noise of the music. And the social media went agog. I'm not on social media, but my wife called me that people got angry. They published her number and said people should occupy her. So she used to receive, she received over 2,000 to 3,000 phone calls a day. And then I tried to on one of my phones. I realized it was in the public. In fact, the phone crashed after about 3 hours. So I am very happy with the interest generated by Nigerians in what goes on in these chambers, because we are here to cater for their interests. And so for them to be so interested in what goes on here means that we are connecting with the people directly. And it would have been terrible if we were doing all this work and the people were not even aware of what we are doing. But the communication was totally misunderstood. Instead of taking it for the nature of what we said, that you should not shout when you are talking and not and speak when you are recognized, they went into private abuses. I don't want to say what they did to me, because what they did to me, I think I don't merit it. I was telling DSP that it's even the one they should be talking to, because in my tradition we marry only one wife. So they listed so many wives on social media, and at the end, it will look as if the Senate president had or has so many wives. When indeed I'm reporting to my colleagues, I have only one, and I'm satisfied with that one. And she's a beautiful and loving woman. I will not intentionally denigrate any woman. I have a wife. I have 4 daughters, and I always pray that God will lift a girl child to the highest zenith in Nigeria, politically and in business. I also want my children to do well. So, distinguished Senator Natasha, I want to apologize to you if you felt offended. If I had mentioned that we are not in the market, they will say I said you are a market woman. If I said that you were not in a nightclub where people shout above the noise of the music, they will say you went to nightclub. If I said you were not in a community meeting in the village, they will say Akpabio says Natasha is a village woman. For me, there is nothing I will say that will not be misunderstood. But the interest generated in the social media, people jumped in, shows that you have a lot of political enemies. It also shows that I do have enemies. All of us here contested elections with people. So whenever those people think that you are being brought down, they will jump up and they will say all sort of things. I noticed even some of them that could not pass through Senate screenings went into the fray and abused the Senate president, abused you and all that. I don't know how you took it, but I felt that I should tender a public apology to you over the miscommunication and the misunderstanding. So do accept my apologies, and my colleagues, or anybody who could have felt offended, accept my apologies. I did not mean any harm, and I did not mean what they are misinterpreting in the social media. And I hope this will come to an end, and people should concentrate on things that will move this country forward, and not things that will divide us. So I hope the apology is accepted. Leader of the Senate.
Should not be transported on roads. If we develop our internal road network, internal waterways, for example, products can move from Lokoja waterways down to the south, to the Niger Delta part of Nigeria, to Warri and on airports. That would actually unburden the roads and would now even save and avoid accidents. So what I'll propose, sir, is instead of having it named the National Road Transport Council, it should read the National Transport Council of Nigeria, whereby innovations and other means of transportation can be harmonized. Our waterways, our rail networks are all designed independently and not in a coordinated fashion. So we would love a situation whereby every aspect of our transportation is looked into and developed by deploying the most modern, innovative ways. So, sir, that's my submission. National Transport Council of Nigeria should be the new name rather than the National Road Transport Council. Thank you.
Yes. Anyway, I've heard from those in support and those not in support. So I'll put the question. Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that this bill be now read a second time, say aye. Those against, say nay.
Mr. President, we don't want it to be killed. We just want a bit of modification. We don't want the bill killed, but it should be slight modifications, sir. It's a necessary bill.
Distinguished Senator Natasha, in the chamber, you have to be recognized before you speak.
Oh, pardon me.
Yeah, we are not in a nightclub. Those in favor that this bill be now read a second time, say aye. Those against, say nay. Clark. What happened? Distinguished colleagues, my ears are very good. Those in support that this bill be now read a second time, say aye. And those again say nay. The nay is having. If you think that the Senate President did not hear well, call for a division.